which in the line of work that you're in seems like a little bit of an issue. Did you know that Mark Waugh
Was allergic to cricket bats?
No.
No.
Horses.
Horses?
Yes. And he loves he's got with
Well,
Kim.
that's why he has to punt. That's why he can't just
That's right.
ride the horses. He would have been a jockey, a bit like Billy Slater. That was he wanted to be a jockey.
So if Kim Waugh, his partner, said, "Can you go down in and muck those stables out?" "No, I can't. I'm allergic." So there you go. 1300 01 1170. Caller of the week got the $100 cash courtesy of Top Sport. The Who Am I? The $50 Eljana. The Eljana has been, it's been devoured before you got here, unfortunately, Dennis.
Oh.
So they're our naming rights sponsor here on the afternoons program, where the charcoal chicken will just taste better.
Well, when we shook hands, you had a bit of grease on your hand. I did lick it. It tasted good, the grease.
It's very good like that. If you want to catch up on anything that you missed from earlier in the program, indeed at any point, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, go straight there. Afternoons Amplified will get behind the numbers with the Maestro coming up very shortly. But our special guest, I think we have you in every year, and I love having you in. And I think it's become an annual event. The grand final week shows at the Bridge Hotel of Rugby League, the musical. Welcome, Denis Carnahan.
Well, thank you for the official welcome. Yeah, it has become. Prior to COVID, I was doing lots of tours. I was doing regional tours through the year. But then post-COVID, it kind of all concentrated. And now I'm doing a song every week to make the show. Then at the end of the year, I put the show on.
So only in Sydney, because we've got a lot of listeners in Queensland who are rugby league lovers. Indeed, I was about to say we've got a lot of listeners around the globe
who are rugby league lovers. Absolutely. So you've got a couple of villages in the north of England tuning in right now.
No, I think
two suburbs of Auckland.
Can you send us a text message 0457 736 736 if you are listening via the app somewhere outside of Australia? So if you could do that, that'd be great.
Not me. You mean the listeners?
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
I'm talking.
Sure.
I have a conversation with the listeners. When you do the radio show on your own, you have either a conversation with yourself or the listeners. Often it's the
as long as the
former.
Listeners talk back, not yourself. That's
right.
Want.
That's right. What you're hearing back. So let us know on that one. Now. What's this that we hear about you doing other things with another network? G'day, Jimmy and Dennis. I'm waiting for the best of compilation of Dennis's weekly song of the week on another network. All brilliant.
There's another network?
I know. Go Raiders. Cheers, Rough Red at Concord.
Wow, that's got me going. Bad and mean, the Green Machine. I won't do that because I'll take up the whole half hour if I did that.
You have been since day dot. Mad Canberra Raiders fan?
I kind of phased it in.
Okay.
In day dot, I was assigned Manly in the 1973 grand final. My brothers assigned me with Manly because they were all going to go for Cronulla. My understanding was that Manly was the underdog because everyone else in the house was going for Cronulla.
Right.
And Manly had a win. I didn't know what they'd cursed me with that. And so I continued going for Manly. They won a couple more premierships, so I stuck with it. But then it slowly started. 82, I went to school with Chrissy O'Sullivan's sister. I knew Chrissy O'Sullivan was my hero from the age of about 6 because he played footy with my brother. And when he played, they won. He was fantastic.
Right.
So he was my hero. And then I was, how can I be going? The turning point was a game between Manly and Canberra. I was like, I can't.
Right.
I can't. I'm a Canberra boy.
Okay.
Chrissy O'Sullivan was there. Ashley Gilbert's there. Oh, it was all too much. Craig Bellamy was there.
Craig Bellamy was there.
We loved Craig Bellamy. There was an episode of The Goodies that aired in 1984 where they had the, what was it? The TV naturalists. And one of them was David Bellamy. And that it was kind of put into Watership Down. So all the Goodies lost David Bellamy. And they're going, Bellamy, Bellamy. So there's one week on the hill at Seaford Oval. It's about 30 of us kids. Every time he touched the ball, we're going, the beautiful falsetto, Bellamy. And he's just looking with this look of anger and confusion going, what?
The Portland boy didn't know what was going on. I will say that The Goodies was my favourite TV show growing up.
Oh, it's the best.
So that brings me to, and they were vaudeville, they were over the top, they were, songs were a big part of that. When did you go? When did you say, okay, I like singing and writing songs and I love rugby league and I'm going to find the marriage of the two?
Well, I never intended to do that.
Right.
I was going to be a rock star. I was supposed to be a pop star.
Weren't we all?
I was touring southeast Queensland and like the whole east coast of Australia for years, playing in covers bands, playing in originals bands, and then started working in TV, doing music TV shows.
Right.
And I was working at Channel 9.
Channel 9.
And at Channel 9.
It's just across the road.
I
Now.
know. I was doing music for their TV shows, doing theme music. And
Okay,
someone said,
which shows? What is some of your greatest work on Channel 9 TV shows?
Location, Australia's best this, Australia's best that.
Right.
Top,
Okay.
it's 20 to 1.
Yes.
A bunch of things back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And then I got asked to do a theme for the footy show.
Did you?
And it had never occurred to me. And they were asking me to do an earnest theme about being a rugby league fan. And it was earnest.
Right.
And they were going to do a film clip which kind of put Fatty and Sterlo into 1930s black and white vision as if they were there. So the song was called You Were There. It got launched in 2006. I went and played at a bunch of semi-finals. And I went and played down in Canberra. Like, it was just a dream. And I remember watching a semi-final with Laurie Daly.
Yeah, of course.
And he's still pulling bits of me out of his ear. So I just sat there.
And then, of course, your great success with this song that people know and love.
When selectors choose for Queensland, could you tell me what map they used? Where you're born and where you come from, surely that's your origin. So could somebody please tell me what's
how did that one come about?
That one, see, by that stage, I'd been writing, I'd written like a couple of dozen songs about rugby league. I'm going to cough again. Where's my cough button? Is that my cough button?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Well done.
Turned it off. And I did a couple of shows. I did a show called Rugby League the Music, where I had a band. I had a song about Junior, a song about Gordy, and had a bunch of Video Killed the Rugby League Star. These are all from, 2008, 9. I did a Video Killed the Rugby League Star. Reg Reagan ended up doing that.
Ah.
So I did a couple of songs for Reggie.
Right.
And then I did that song. And I didn't think anyone would like it. I actually had the idea in about 2010, an Anthony Sharwood article about players who'd played.
Anthony Sharwood, yeah.
Yeah. So I read this article. I know Anthony Suma, and it just hit me, the idea of walking around a Queensland Origin camp going, so where are you from? And asking them, and having greetings, so I'm from Bowraville, and then me going, that's in Queensland. And that was kind of the idea of a skit.
Yes.
And then there was a particular community radio show that I was called Fire Up.
Which
I believe you're an alumni of.
Yes, I've been on that program.
Yeah.
Great team. Brett and Stephen.
Yeah. Well, Brett's now left. Brett's retired
he has.
into his, and he's just a sulky Rooster fan going, being oppressed.
There's no other type.
Every week, and everyone looks down on Roosters fan, the most downtrodden. And I'd played at their State of Origin function where I played 1 out of 3 is bad, when Ricky Stewart said, if we win one game this year, I'll be happy. And so the following year they said, can you do something else? I was actually going to go to I was going to Mexico, producing a classical group who played contemporary music on cellos, violins, etc. And I was their producer. And we're doing a little gig over there. So I couldn't go to this function. And I had this idea, so I did the song. And I did it, and I thought, no one's going to like this. It is so camp and vaudeville. It is so un-rugby league.
Yes.
And I sent it to them. They played it, and I was then flying back. So I didn't get Origin scores that State of Origin game. I was on a plane flying back from Mexico.
Yes.
I land back in Sydney, and there are...
How many? 700? 800? I'm tipping 700 or 800.
47 texters,
I
believe is the official number of texters.
47 texters. There's 47 texters.
Which meant there was a couple of hundred, and it was nuts. And so I quickly uploaded it to YouTube and sent the link.
Yeah.
And booyah, within a day it was 500,000 hits.
Wow.
So that was a complete shock to me.
Okay. That's life-changing. That's awesome. I'm looking at the flyer here. Bridge Hotel starts Monday the 30th of September.
That's next Monday.
Kick-off 7:30. You're ready, though. You're ready.
Yeah.
There's a matinee on Saturday the 6th of October.
Yeah.
No,
it's actually Saturday the 5th.
Yeah, Saturday the 5th.
There, though,
yeah, okay. Anyway, it's on all week. It's on all week is the point I'm making at the Bridge Hotel, except grand final night. So make sure you get in early to avoid disappointment.
They are actually selling, so you might want to get in.
Yeah, yeah. You've got a Paul Gallen character. I think that's a Paul Sirenen.
No, that's Junior.
That's Junior.
Yeah.
I looked at the shoulder pads. Okay, the headband. So you're right. Ciro would have had the white tape
Ciro
on.
had the white tape.
And Wayne Pearce had the black tape on. Any other characters we can look forward to this year?
Well, there's a new one, and I'm very excited about it, because something that you have in music theatre, there's a lot of themes of injustice. So you think about, Les Miserables is all
Yes.
about social injustice, rent social injustice. And in rugby league, we're identifying before, there is one team that is more oppressed and more downtrodden and poorly treated than any other, and that is your Sydney City Roosters.
They are.
And everyone is down on them so much. And I think it's so unfair because they just want rugby league to love them as much as they do.
Yeah.
And I've got a little song, and I'm going to get the coach of that team to come in because he gets pretty, upset about how oppressed they are.
Yes.
And can I do a little song that he's going to sing? Is that a yes or a no?
Oh, absolutely.
Roosters playing Titans in round 25. Enter Sammy Verrills carrying the ball. He's tackled by 2 players, but he doesn't take a dive. On the very next tackle, my God, the Titans score. Here comes the story of Waria Hargraves, the man the authorities always blame for high shots that he never done. They keep suspending him, but he is one of the cleanest players in the world. But something in that tackle does the bunkers see. JWH is called out by Adam Usher G. I didn't do it, says JWH and throws up his hands. I'm a really clean player, I hope you understand. But Usher says, just before that try, your shoulder went douche and hit poor Sammy Verrills right in the mush. So Usher sends Jared off to spend 10 minutes in the bin and put him on report direct contact moderate force. Meanwhile, in the coach's box, Robbo has a frown. He has some idea of what was about to go down.
Yes.
Jared Waria Hargraves only came back that day from a 4-week suspension from his 307th Rooster game. In the press conference, Robbo only said that with the sin bin he was disappointed. But then Jared copped 3 weeks. And Robbo said, percentage of season, the balance is wrong. 3 weeks is far too long. Every Rooster fan knows Jared's always innocent. If it was any other player, he wouldn't have been sent. Roosters fans look at the judiciary through red, white, and blue eyes. They say, why did you suspend him for? He ain't the guy. But that's the story of JWH, the man the referees always blame for every high shot ever done. He's been suspended 30 weeks, but he's one of the cleanest players in the world.
Yes. There we go. All right. Yes. Well, enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. Isn't that great? Outstanding song and great subject matter. In fact, there's a lot of people listening right now that are hearing and feeling exactly what you're expressing during the course of that song. So, yeah, the Downtrodden Roosters fans, that's going to work well on this program. There's a lot of people sending in there, don't trust those cameras, Bellamy. Seems a bit prophetic these days after some of his performances in the coach's box. So,
wow.
There you go. Now, we've been talking about him today. He made an appearance on 100% Footy last night. He is...
Bellamy?
No.
Oh.
Clearly the leader of the game, Peter V'landys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have a character?
I don't have a character, Peter V'landys. I wouldn't dare. I'm too scared.
That's right.
I do have a fantasy. I have this fantasy of the stage darkens,
Yes.
and there's a wooden door on the screen, and there's a knock on the door.
Yes.
And the door opens, and it's Todd Greenberg. And then it starts, how'd you do, I see you met my faithful CEO. And it goes on, and it's Pete V'landys, and it's all about Andrew Abdo. And he's a Pete V'landite.
Oh, Pete V'landite.
Yes, and he studied at Transvalia because he got his degree from the University of the Transvaal. So
yes.
I have the fantasy of doing that as Peter V'landys, and like it'll start with the organ, and they'll have a cape.
Of course, cast well. But you do have a Peter V'landys song.
Well, of course, you have to have a Peter V'landys song.
Yes.
Season 2024 started off with a roar. It really set the world on fire. They spent a whole lot of money to take 2 games offshore to get rugby league's profile up higher. Well, there were so many naysayers waiting out there, hoping and praying it would flop again. But the whole thing was a triumph cause of just one man, Peter V'landys. Peter V'landys. In 1987, Origin Game 4 went to Long Beach, California. But only 12,000 Americans came and saw the pinnacle of league that day. In 08, the Rabbits lost to Leeds in Jacksonville. You weren't there, were you? No, that was you 10 years earlier. Yep. They lost the game, but they lost much more money still. To go back there took a strong heart and a nerve of steel. That describes Peter V'landys. Woo! Peter V'landys. Yeehaw! Peter V'landys throwing 200 million cash in. He sure hopes it don't come crashing, cause he wants publicity. Peter V'landys hoping rugby leagues. Magnus hopes the Yanks' gambling habits. Now they've seen it once, they'll start wagering on rugby league. Oh, the Jillaroos in England, the Panthers and Sharks, and the Raiders and the Warriors are playing. Okay, some of this year's fixtures aren't quite as hot still, but every journalist and commentator's praying that their boss sends them over there once again. You've still got something missing, Pete, to entertain. You're gonna need some music, so here I am, Peter V'landys. Peter V'landys. Viva Peter V'landys.
Whoa, all right. You are a talent. You are a talent, mate. That is absolutely sensational. I think I have heard that one before, but you'll hear them all at Rugby League, the musical. It's from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of Grand Final week. Starts at 7:30 p.m. at the Bridge Hotel.
There's also the Saturday. There's two shows on the Saturday.
Saturday matinee, Saturday kickoff at 7:30. Bridge Hotel, 119 Victoria Road, Rozelle. I know the aforementioned Brett Oaten going on Thursday night.
Is he?
So
he'll love
he'll be very excited about that. Mate, you're extraordinarily talented. Love the fact that you do this type of thing. It's very well received by the rugby league public. We know that and beyond, and we wish you all the very best. And thank you for coming in this afternoon,
Thanks for
mate.
having me.
There he is, Denis Carnahan, as mentioned, highly, highly talented. Go and check it out. What's the website that they would go to? The website? What is it?
Rugbyleaguethemusical.com.au.
There you go. What about that? Rugbyleaguethemusical.com.au. So make sure you check that out. Denis Carnahan, our special guest. All right, let's get back to normal programming after this break.